investment. Now, power to the finish line. This looks to be April Lund right now. A smidge under 17 minutes of a victory. 16.
Hey, Autumn Athletes, Larry Sorensen here. Today, I'm going to chat with April Lund, find out what makes her an Autumn Athlete that's not done yet. Before we get started, please remember, if you enjoy our content, like, subscribe, and ding that bell for notifications. All right, let's begin. April, thank you so much for joining us today. Why don't you kick this thing off with giving us a little introduction of yourself?
All right, well, I'm April Lund. I will be 42 years young here in July. I live in Bismarck, North Dakota. I'm originally from a small town in Southern Illinois, though. I am a health and wellness professional. I also coach people. I'm a TV show host. I love to volunteer in my community. I have a wonderful husband named Jeff. And then my fur baby may come in here sometime named Faith. She's my shakeout buddy. She just did her fastest 5K, like 23:50 the other night. I was really proud of her.
Fill us in a little bit about your athletic history, what other sports maybe you've done, or if it's just been track all along, just kind of give us a full rounded idea of your athletic past.
I was not athletic, but boy, I tried everything, like tried out for cheerleading, tried out for basketball, tried out for show choir. I mean, you name it, I tried everything, but I never made the teams. But I always continued to work hard. And I started running in 7th grade, and I got last in every single event except one time. I beat one girl from Mount Carmel, Illinois in the mile one time. And then I never looked back really from my 8th grade year. And I just ran in high school, 1 year in college, made some bad life choices in college, and then came back at age 32. So it's almost been 10 years since I came back to running.
What really inspired you to get back into track and field at 32?
Well, my whole life has really been filled with adversity and obstacles, from the time I was a little kid. And no matter what, I always came back to two things, and that was running and that was God. And I knew I was in a point really bad in my addiction that if I wanted to create the life that I was supposed to have and not lose everything again, I had to get back to my roots, and that was running and that was God. And I just put down the bottle and I started running.
Did you have any setbacks along the way before you've gotten to this point here where you're being very successful?
I just spoke at an event on Tuesday, and I had several people tell me they would do anything to be as fast as I am. And I looked at them, I'm like, are you sure about that? Because with success comes a lot of sacrifice, a lot of obstacles, a lot of adversity. And, for me, I think some people see things as setbacks, but I see them as setups for the future. And there has not been one thing that has punched me along in the face that I haven't came out stronger. And what I really like to teach people too, and I mean, I can give you like a long list of obstacles, but what I like to teach people is it doesn't matter how much talent you have. It doesn't matter how much money you have. If let's use boxing for an example, it doesn't matter how good of a technician that boxer is, if they get punched in the face and they can't get back up. So my setbacks have really became setups. If you name it, I've probably been through it. I've been fortunate enough to train in Kenya the last couple of years. It's great. My coach, Rich Anderson, actually passed away about 2.5 years ago. He believed in me when I was 210 pounds with 44.8% body fat. My belly was so big, I couldn't see my feet. My first 5K was so funny. But, when I was in Kenya, not only did I learn about the person that I am, but I got malaria, typhoid, cryptosporidium. I literally almost died. I got treated in the back of a hidden American hospital in a Chinese restaurant. Went back, I broke 5 ribs at the end of last April, right through here, and I broke my foot. And every single time through those things, I just come back stronger. Because you find ways to adapt, and champions don't make excuses, they make adjustments.
Friend, tell us a little bit about this recent issue that you had after nationals.
I have 4 autoimmune diseases. I have MS, Hashimoto's, Raynaud's, and lymphocytic colitis. And so sometimes it can make my body a little bit challenging. And I've learned as I've gotten older that even though I want to train like a 24-year-old Kenyan, I still have to treat my body with some respect and listen. And I don't know what exactly happened. I think I might have gotten mono or like a relapse of Epstein-Barr. But I know I set that American record. I just couldn't believe it there at Indoor Nationals in Chicago. Just about broke 5 minutes in the mile, lifetime dream. And then I ran a hard 25 miles at 6-minute pace on that Monday to get ready for Boston. And then I just didn't feel good. I ended up in the ER 3 times. And today is day 38. And it feels so nice to see myself with lipstick on and my hair done. I've been able to do a little bit of training now the last couple of weeks, and I am still strong. So I just feel really grateful for that. And there were some issues in my body that needed to kind of heal up, and we found some underlying conditions. And I think that's the fuel. And once again, that setup I need to take it to the next level.
Well, we're happy that you are recovered and feeling good. Now, you did mention that great race that you had in Chicago, but you've had a lot of great races. So tell us a little bit about some of your personal best times, achievements. Just fill us in on all of those successes that you've had.
Well, if I had to have like one of my greatest successes, it would actually not even be my personal time, but it would be creating the GYS track club, this guy right here. Because I believe champions aren't just champions on the field, but they're champions off the field. And success is a feeling. And the more people we can help, and I feel like I came out of hell carrying buckets of water to help other people. And our track club is just that. So if you see us, we've got nuns, historians, welders, stay-at-home moms, a janitor at McDonald's, you name it. We have everybody on our club, and we're just trying the best to be the best people that we can be. And if I had one greatest success in my life, it would be that I can use my gift from God to help other people.
I want you to stop being humble here and tell us about some of your times, because they're very impressive.
I'm doing things I've never thought that I could do. And, I've been ready to go under 2:33 times in the marathon, and my body breaks right before it. It just happened again in Boston. I was in tears when I came through, because I'm like, I should have been in that picture with Emma and Sarah and Des. Like, I just knew it from my soul. But right now, my PR is a 2:39. I'll try another full at the end of the year, and I expect to be right around 2:30 with that guy. My half is a 72. I feel like I can go under 70 if I want. And that's really where I'm going to be focusing right now for the rest of, I'd say until Worlds. I'm going to be focusing on all the short stuff. I don't know. Every time my feet are hitting the ground, I'm just breaking records. It's been awesome. I really want to see, I know I can go under 16 in that 5K. So I'm really excited for that. And I'd like to go under 33 in the 10K this year too. So I'm installing all of that. And I do plan on breaking the road 1 mile record, which is 4:47. So I plan on doing that pretty soon.
What is the pace for 2:39 and what is the pace for 2:30, the mile pace?
Okay, so we've got a 5:52, and then we've got about my 2:39 was actually, I averaged 6 flat, but I actually didn't have bottles on that course, and the bottles were all the way. So you literally had to run in and you had to run out. And it's like, I didn't have bottles at Houston. So that's a 6 flat. So, and I think I've been training for 6 flat since I was like in 8th grade, right? Like I can run it with my eyes closed. So I'm really excited just to see. I want to get fast first in the short stuff, and then I'm going to go right back up to that at the end of the year. I've been doing thresholds, at that 6 minute, and then just seeing my heart rate come back to normal and come down. And that's how I've been basing if I'm healthy enough to get back to full training. And yesterday was the first day I'm going through my 5K at 6 minute, and I like have a 140, 142 heart rate. And I'm like, yes. I'm like, keep coming back.
Fill us in on your overall training regimen, on the track, on the road, in the gym, cross training, whatever it is you do that gets you fit for all of these different races.
I'm pretty basic in a lot of areas of my life. Number one thing I do is I always show up, right? So it doesn't matter how I feel. There were several days when I just had to get out of bed. My team came and picked me up and helped me. I'm like, we can run. I know we can just do 2K, right? Like no matter what it is, I feel like we have to show up every day. And if I had one secret to my success, it is giving my best every day. And my best looks different every day. I also feel like every person who works hard can do anything. So when people ask me what I run, I say, what do you have? Right? Like what you got? I like to run everything, right? So whether it's trails, whether it's roads, track, you name it, I'll run it. I even want to try the steeple, I think, next year. But I believe in strength training every single day. I don't really know anyone that can do more pull-ups, push-ups than me, guy or girl. I think that's important to be strong. I also, I work out at least twice a day. I have a rule with myself that the investment in myself is the best thing I could ever do for myself. So I owe myself 2 hours every single day. And however that looks could be different, just depending. And I pray and I eat good, right? Like having those autoimmune diseases, I feel like helped me level up because I needed to make tough choices in my nutritional part of my life that I couldn't make on my own. So having those autoimmunes really just made me a tremendous athlete.
You talked about strength training and so forth, push-ups, pull-ups. Do you do all just calisthenic type strength training, or do you actually go into a gym and throw iron around? How do you do that? And then, what kind of lifts do you do if you do that?
So I do a lot of single leg lifts and I do a lot of body weight stuff. With my upper arms, I'll add like 10 to 12 pound dumbbells or 5 pounds for shoulders. But for my legs, I do a lot of body weight stuff. And I think a lot of people don't realize that we're on one leg 1,200 times per mile on average, right? So if you can't stand on one leg, I don't feel like you have any business throwing up a bunch of weight on squats or on deadlifts until you've got like the stabilizers and the hip extensors and those things strong. So I really focus a lot on the single leg. Something I'd never done before was mobility work, like in my hips. You've never seen a bunch of old ladies cry. Like if you come to one of our group workouts and we're trying to like sit down with our hands between our legs, we're all just like, why? Something too I've really been focusing on a lot are drills. And I had never done drills. Even in my college team, we never really did drills. And then a lot of ankle work and tibialis work. And because those are ways to get faster that aren't just running, right? That help us with our explosiveness and help our economy. And they've really helped a lot. And one other thing I didn't mention is spin biking, because I think that is how my fast twitch got so fast. I spent so much time on the bike that my legs feel like pistons. I mean, my legs they feel strong. I don't tear down. My 3 races at nationals, they were all negative splits from my 3,000, my mile, and my half. And they were all lifetime PRs.
What would you do, as a miler, marathoner, that type of runner? What kind of a speed workout would you do if you're going out to the track today?
I like to do a threshold workout. Then the next day, I like to follow it up with some 200s. So, because I feel like you can be good at the short, and you got to have your long stuff as well, right? So you combine those. 200s are a favorite go-to if I'm just looking for really fast turnover. I'm like, do I give Larry my secret sauce for my mile? So I'm a big all-out fan. So my favorite mile workout, and it was the last mile workout my coach gave me before he passed. And it is 2 1 miles, 2 800s, and 4 400s. And that in 200s was the only prep work I did for any kind of speed for nationals. And it was great.
Now we want to know a little bit about diet and nutrition, and then also how do you incorporate rest into your regimen?
You are what you eat, and your cells have to replenish, and what you put in your body is how it replenishes. I believe in a whole nutrition, and I even stepped it up a little bit more when I went to Kenya. And so I eat meat. I don't like fried meat, but any kind of meat. I love meat. I especially love red meat because of the vitamin B and the omegas in there. It's just fantastic. I love eggs. Eggs are great. Rice, potatoes, fruits, and vegetables. And UCAN is basically a food group for me, which is nice because it helps me stabilize my blood sugar too. But that's what I eat. I don't do gluten. I don't do dairy. I don't do soy. I don't do fake sweeteners. If you notice that you're having a lot of bloating, a lot of people think it's good because it's sugar-free or 0 calorie, but that really causes a lot of stomach distress for a lot of people. I try my best not to have a lot of added sugar.
How do you fit it all in? And then kind of along with that, I guess, would be, what motivates you at almost 42 to do this and keep driving and keep trying to break records and win championships?
Okay, so how do you do it? So I think my reason why is how I do it, right? So I want to be the example of how the glory of God has no bounds. And no matter where you've been, what mistakes you've made, what you've been through, you can literally be anything you want to be if you're willing to work for it. And I feel like my life is proof of that. Whoever knows my story or doesn't, whether you've been abused, whether you came from poverty, whether you've been in addiction, whether you've whatever environment that it is, or maybe you just want to change your life, right? I mean, and for me, running gave me the confidence to be able to change my life. And I know I can do great things if I just keep showing up. And I have 5 things I do every day, and it's how I got from point A to point B. And the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I don't hit snooze, because someone told me one time that snooze is, when you hit it, it's like a form of depression. And I'm like, not today, Satan. I will not be depressed. So when that goes off, even if I lay there for a minute, I still never hit snooze, because once you can get started and once your feet hit the ground, that's how you make changes in your life. I pray every day. I follow my nutrition plan. I follow whatever's on my workout plan. And you do have to make adaptations to that depending how you feel. And you had asked me about rest, and you got to sleep. I used to think 5 hours of sleep was enough, and my body needs 8 to 9 hours of sleep. I mean, I just have to have that. And you have to learn I think Eliud Kipchoge put it best when he said learning vitamin N, and it's how to say no. Because when you say yes to people, you're always saying no to yourself. So you have to learn to say no, but that recovery is so important. And then I pray before I go to bed at night. And as long as I do those 5 things, that's how I've gotten where I'm at. And I just keep achieving, and I'm learning how to work smarter, not always harder. Because as we age, we have to do that too.
How do you train being up in the Dakotas where the weather is not favorable for, I don't know, let's say 9 months out of the year, similar to it is here in Wisconsin? So how do you do that? How do you get your mileage in and so forth in that kind of environment?
So I'm a huge treadmill person. I love the treadmill. The treadmill is my friend. I think it not only makes me strong and teaches my body to dial in, but it calluses my mind as well. I also use the lever, which is like your own anti-gravity, which helps just take a little bit of pressure off your feet if you're really putting in some heavy miles or something really fast. So I use that for my really, really hard workouts too. Unfortunately, we don't have an indoor track that's close to here. So last year when I was trying to break the American record in Poland, I had to drive through snowstorms twice a week to go to Minot, North Dakota. And a 90-minute drive was sometimes 4 hours. But you just have to get it in, whatever that looks like. And once again, the spin bike too is it's just such a great tool.
What's kind of that, more philosophical motivation at this point to keep rolling?
I want to see just how far I can really go. And my coach told me, he goes, April, you should have done this in your 20s. And I'm like, you know what? If I would have done it in my 20s, it wouldn't be a miracle. And I know that I can still get faster for the next 4 years. I believe that wholeheartedly, because I haven't even hit my peak yet. And I'm doing all the things, right? Like you're learning how to work smart. You're learning how to eat right. You're learning how to recover. Science is a real thing. You're learning how to eliminate stress from your life. You have to enjoy it. And there's plenty of times you'll see pictures of me on Instagram where I'm almost puking at the track before workout because I'm so nervous. But once you start, It's the best feeling in the world. And I know when I towed the line, there is no one there that worked harder than me. I will promise it. There's no one there that's worked harder than me. There's nobody at that line that's ever felt the kind of pain I felt off the track. So I know they can't endure the kind of pain I can feel on the track too. And that's a peace of mind and a confidence that you can only build. No one can give it to you. Nobody can take it away.
Kind of fill us in on your whole online presence and where we can find you. And of course, we will post any links to what you talk about in the description below, but fill us in on about all of that.
Yeah, so GYS Track Club, it stands for Get You Some. So get you some motivation, get you some results, get you some courage, get you some strength. And it's great. We have members from all over. I have a 63-year-old German that's competing in a pentathlon tomorrow. We've got people from Texas on our team, from New Jersey, not just here in North Dakota, Minnesota, all over, which is really, really great. I have the privilege of working with people, not just one-on-one here in person in North Dakota, but I also coach people from all over. And it's really just about meeting people where they are and getting fitness on your level. And just like myself, finding out what you can really do and building that confidence from within. Because at the end of the day, we're not a time, we're not a place, we're not an accolade. Our strength and our courage comes from within, and there's something to be said about that. And I want to teach that to people, because I think often we get lost in your watch, or we get lost in, oh my God, my worth comes from what the scale says. And that's not true. It's not who you are, it's whose you are. And your worth comes from God and what you build and the legacy that you build.
So I understand you have a little bit of an announcement for us today. Why don't you go ahead and tell us what's the big news?
Yeah, so I am officially joining the Marin County Track Club out of California. I'm really, really excited to partner with them. I'm excited to run with Eddie Owens and some other Olympians. And I leave actually May 30th to train with them. And I am doing my first road mile to prepare me to break the American record later in June. And then I'm running the Dipsea Trail Run. I kind of think I'm crazy, because if you've ever studied it, it's like the craziest race ever, but I'm really, really excited for that. And we're going for the team title there. And it's great. I'm ready for this next chapter of my life. And I really want to give it 100% to see what I have.
Okay, we're going to switch gears just for a minute here and have some fun with some quirky questions. And I'm just going to kind of make these up off the top of my head just to find out a little bit more about you. Okay, what's your favorite color?
Orange, but most people think it's pink.
Why orange?
It was my high school colors. And then that's why our team is the same thing. It's orange and black. So orange is just, I've always loved orange, and orange means success to me. So I don't know.
Okay. So if you're going to go out on the town, would you rather go see an opera, Broadway play, or your favorite artist at a concert?
Oh man, it depends what I worked out that day, because the opera sounds fun if it was like, or Broadway if it was like Pretty Woman. But I don't know. I kind of like to dance and sing. So I'm going to go concert.
So if you could go to a concert, who would you go see? Who's your number one on the list to go see it live?
Oh my gosh. Well, I was going to say NSYNC, because I've been there. If there was a boy band tour, I would be there in a heartbeat. No, I really like if there was a Christian, like kind of Christian gangster rap with contemporary Christian mix, like a whatever, I would go to that.
Like a Toby Mac kind of concert?
Yeah, Toby Mac, yeah.
How about drama, action, or romance movie?
Oh, why didn't you say comedy? Come on now.
Okay, let me rephrase. Comedy, action, or romance movie?
Comedy for sure, but I'm a sucker for a good story. So like a rom-com is good too. But yeah. Action's okay, but I'm like, sometimes you're actioned out.
Would you rather bungee jump, like whitewater rafting? I mean, I'm talking like Colorado stuff, or mountain climb? I
would not bungee jump, only because all my doctors would be like, we work so hard to keep your pieces where they are. But besides that, I would pretty much do anything else. Oh. Like, it doesn't matter. Whitewater raft sounds great. I know how to swim now. There was a point I didn't. I'm good.
Farmhouse with some property, a lake house, or a penthouse?
I'm gonna go lake house, although I mean, probably until like the last 2 or 3 years, I would have picked the penthouse for sure, because that's, I mean, right? I'm a city girl originally, but yeah, lake house. I have loved going out just in the middle of nowhere and just training and cooking my own food and doing my own thing has been so great. Yeah, lake house, 100%. Would I get in the lake? Probably not.
All right. Well, April, thanks so much for joining us today and letting us know what makes you an autumn athlete that's not done yet. We really appreciate you taking the time. I'd like to wrap up by giving you an opportunity to address our audience and just give us some final thoughts.
All things are possible through faith and discipline, and you can literally do anything if you just keep showing up, keep making those deposits in the bank, no matter if you think they're big enough or small enough, because they all add up, and then you'll be able to make your withdrawal soon.
Well, there you have it, everyone. April Lund. She is definitely an autumn athlete that's not done yet. Remember, keep moving, set your own goals, and train hard to achieve them. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Nice wrap. Nice wrap.